Every year, at least 50 million sharks are caught in nets this way, side by side with our favorite seafood.
So today our topic lies in the essence of the video. It's how fisheries contribute to a global climate crisis. And I believe this video was an eye opener. So our first guest for the afternoon is Vignesh Manjeshwar. He's the managing director of Tiger Worldwide Logistics India Private Limited, an MNC, a former professional member of ISABS, Indian Society of Applied Behavioral Sciences, founder, managing trustee of Discover Urja Charitable Trust. We run Why We Care project under this trust towards vegan promotion. At Why We Care, it's at Why We Care, we Vignesh has worked tirelessly towards promoting vegan and a healthier and a greener diet and a greener lifestyle. So we're glad to have this with you, sir. Can we please turn on sir's camera? Hello, sir. How are you doing?
Hi, Ayush. So do I take over?
Yeah, sir. It's all yours.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome. My name is Vignesh, and as Ayush struggled to state, the charitable trust that we run, the project NGO is Why We Care. In Why We Care, we do work for vegan promotion. We talk about animal cruelty, how we can all live a sustainable, nice, happy life without harming other animals. Okay? So we saw this video. I am sorry, but can we watch one more video? I'd like to show you a video which we have produced. It's in Hindi. It has a little more elements that we can talk about. Okay? Is that okay, Ayush?
Yes, surely, sir.
So I'll share the screen, Ayush. Let me know, okay?
Yeah, sure, sir. So the audio, I guess you have to share as well.
Is it okay, Ayush, or not okay?
So the audio is not audible, I guess, for the audience, including me.
If you can play this yourself from the YouTube, I've sent the link.
Is it in the chat?
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat right now. Let's see. There's a chat. If you can play this video, this one.
Okay, let's see. Okay, just a second. So we'll try and get this on our screen. So do we have a screen? Do you have my screen?
Yeah.
Is it audible? Just a second.
No, Ayush.
Just a second.
Full and play, na?
Can somebody from the tech team share it from the back end?
I will do it.
Okay.
Ayush, can you
Stop sharing
remove
my-
your screen?
Yeah, I have.
वैज्ञानिकों का कहना है कि अगले 28 साल में समंदर खाली हो जाएगा। कोई नैसर्गिक दुविधा की वजह से नहीं, हम काबिल इंसानों की वजह से। मेरे पिछले वीडियो से आपने जाना होगा कि हमारे साल का 7 से 8 हजार करोड़ जमीनी जानवर मार के खाते हैं और इस्तेमाल करते हैं। इसका 33 गुना ज्यादा यानी 2.5 लाख करोड़ समुद्री जीवों को हम मारते हैं हर साल। 700 करोड़ 700 करोड़ लगभग हम इंसानों के पूरे विश्व में आबादी है, जिसको हम एक दिन में साफ कर देते हैं। फिर हमारे समंदर खाली नहीं होंगे तो और क्या होगा? समुद्री जीव हमसे बहुत भिन्न हैं। उनकी आंखें, उनका रंग रूप, उनका आकार हमसे मेल नहीं खाता। सो माना वो भिन्न है, इसलिए उनके साथ एक महसूस करते हुए हमें दिक्कत होती है। पर क्या वो सच में हमसे बहुत भिन्न है? लेकिन वो भी हमारी तरह खेलते हैं। उनका भी परिवार होता है, उनके दोस्त होते हैं, उनका अपना एक समाज होता है। वो एक दूसरे की मदद करते हैं, वो अपनी जान बचाने के लिए छुपते हैं, अपनी बुद्धि का इस्तेमाल करते हैं, वो सुंदर रचना भी करते हैं हमारी तरह। उनके पास एक दूसरे के मुकाबले अद्भुत विशेषताएं होती हैं। उन्हें हमारी तरह डर लगता है। वो अपने बचाव के लिए, अपने प्रजनन के लिए जान दे देते हैं। उन्हें हमारी तरह दर्द होता है। वो पीड़ा में तिल मिलाते हैं, वो तड़प तड़प के मरते हैं, वो जीना चाहते हैं। साइंस और साइंटिफिक स्टडीज यही बताती है कि उनके पास भी हमारी तरह नर्वस सिस्टम है, तंत्रिका तंत्र। उनको भी स्ट्रेस होता है, उनको भी चिंता, उत्तेजना, घबराहट, व्याकुलता, उत्सुकता, ये सब होती है। इन समुद्री जीवों के साथ हम जो इतने बड़े पैमाने पे करते हैं वो बहुत ही दुखद है। दुनिया भर में जो हम मच्छी पकड़ते हैं 99%, इसको जो 3 मेजर तरीके हैं, आइए वो 3 मेजर तरीके मैं आपको समझाऊं। सबसे पहला तरीका होता है बोट। यहां पे विशाल बोट जो होते हैं उसमें इससे भी बड़े बड़े जाल होते हैं। उस जाल के तह में वजन लगाया जाता है और फिर उन जाल को समुद्र में छोड़ के समुद्र के तह में घसीटा जाता है। किलोमीटर, मीलों मील पूरा समुद्र का तह बर्बाद हो जाता है। वहां पे जितने पेड़ पौधे जो कुछ है सब नष्ट, और जितनी मच्छियां जो भी तैर रही है सब के सब जाल में अटक जाते हैं। ये पूरे को उठा के जाल बोट में डंप किया जाता है। इसमें सिर्फ 30 से 40% इंसान के काम का मच्छी है। बाकी ये जितने मछली हैं सब बेकार है। इंसान उसको उठा के फेंक देता है, उसको कहते हैं बाई कैच। दूसरा तरीका है, समुद्र में ये बोट जो है समुद्र में 50-100 किलोमीटर लंबा लाइन छोड़ते हैं। इसमें हजारों कांटे लगे होते हैं, हजारों, और ये बोट चलते रहता है किलोमीटर, मीलों मील। इसमें मच्छियां आके कांटे में अटकती रहती है। वो बेचारे खींचे चले आते हैं, वो ऐसे तड़पते रहते हैं, लेकिन क्या फर्क पड़ता है। बहुत किलोमीटर चलने के बाद फिर इस लाइन को जब बोट में लेते हैं तो वहां पे भी सिर्फ 30 से 40% काम का, बाकी का सब बेकार में मर गए, बाई कैच, कोई काम का नहीं। ये दोनों तरीके में बहुत वेस्ट है, पर इंसान यही तो तरीका अपनाता है क्योंकि इसमें हजारों मच्छियां मिल जाती है उसको, हजारों। और जो मरे, मरने दो, क्या फर्क पड़ता है, करोड़ों की तादाद में मरे, ये सब कचरा तो है। तीसरा जो तरीका इंसान अपनाता है वो है एक्वा फिशरीज, समुद्र में मछलियों की खेती। इन एक्वा फिशरीज की वजह से इतना कूड़ा, इतना विषैला कूड़ा जमा हो जाता है, इतना केमिकल, इतना टॉक्सिक कि वो पूरा क्षेत्र डेड जोन बन जाता है। डेथ जोन का मतलब है कि वहां पे सालों सालों तक कोई नहीं पनपेगा, कोई भी पेड़ पौधा नहीं होगा। हमने ऐसे हजारों डेथ जोन बना दिए हैं। इन एक्वा फिशरीज की वजह से हमारे मैनग्रोव समुद्र के तह में होते हैं, वो भी कई सारे बर्बाद हो गए हैं। इन मच्छियों को हम लाखों की तादाद में बढ़ाते हैं, उगाते हैं, और फिर इनको खिलाने के लिए कई सारे लाख मछलियों को हम रखा जाता है कि इनको दुनिया भर की विकृति, दुनिया भर की बीमारी हो जाती है, लेकिन माल खराब ना हो, जिसको हमें बड़ा करके बेचना है बाबा, तो इसको टनों के हिसाब से दवाइयां और एंटीबायोटिक दी जाती है ताकि ये बस बढ़ जाए। दुनिया में आज की तारीख में जितना भी समुद्री जीव को हम खाते हैं, आधे से ज्यादा इन एक्वा फिशरीज से आते हैं। मुझे याद है जब मैं पहले इन सब का सेवन करता था तो मेरे दोस्त, मैं कहता था कि भाई फ्रेश दो। शर्म आता है मुझे यार, क्योंकि अब मैं जानता हूं कि वो फ्रेश का मतलब क्या था। फ्रेश का मतलब था कि मच्छी अभी अभी जो मरा वो दो मुझे। वो कैसे करते हैं? वो मच्छियों को आधे पानी में रखते हैं, थोड़े से पानी में, ताकि वो जिंदा रहे, दिनों दिनों तक बस तड़पते रहे। आइस पे रखते हैं ताकि फ्रेश रहे, सड़े नहीं और जिंदा रहे। और फिर हमें फ्रेश चाहिए तो फ्रेश उधर ही बनाते हैं, उधर के उधर निकालते हैं और जिंदा काटते हैं। और एक काटने के बाद भी जल्दी नहीं मरते, ये उसके बाद भी 30-40 मिनट तड़प तड़प के जिंदा रहते हैं। कई बार इनको जिंदा ही उबालते हैं, जिंदा ही फ्राई करते हैं। ऐसा है कि बेचारे बोल नहीं सकते, आवाज नहीं है इनके पास, इसलिए खामोशी में ही तड़पते रहते हैं। शार्क फिन सूप सुना है आपने? शार्क फिन सूप एक डेलिकेसी है। शार्क के फिन से बनता है, शार्क के पंख से। जो दुनिया भर में लाखों शार्क को पकड़ते हैं और उसका फिन काट के ले लेते हैं, ये शार्क फिन सूप के लिए। पर इन शार्क का क्या करें? ये तो बिकने वाला नहीं, पैसे नहीं मिलेंगे, बेकार है ये, तो उसको समुद्र में ऐसे फेंक देते हैं। वो बेचारा तह में जाके ऐसा पड़ जाता है, तैर नहीं पाएगा, घुट घुट के मरता है भूख से, दिनों दिनों तक, महीनों महीनों तक। पर हमें क्या फर्क पड़ता? इस तरह हम लाखों शार्क, व्हेल, डॉल्फिन, कईयों को मार देते हैं। अपने स्वार्थ, अपने लालच और अपने अज्ञानता में हम जल्लाद से भी बदतर हो गए हैं। और वो जो लोग कहते हैं कि जंगलों से ऑक्सीजन मिलता है हमें, हमारे रेन फॉरेस्ट से, पूरी तरह सही नहीं है ये बात। क्योंकि 70% ऑक्सीजन जो हमें मिलता है आता है हमारे समुद्र से, सी प्लैंक्टन से, समुद्री पेड़ पौधों से। और एक और बात जो हम कहते हैं कि समुद्र में दुनिया भर का प्लास्टिक जमा हो गया है, समुद्र घुट रहा है। 70 से 80% प्लास्टिक जो है वो आता है ये फिशिंग नेट से, ये मछली पकड़ने के जाल से। अगर आपको सच में पर्यावरण की चिंता है सो प्लीज समुद्र की चिंता करें जो धरती पे 70% है। और अगर समुद्र की चिंता करनी है तो समुद्री जीवों की चिंता करें, क्योंकि इसके बिना समुद्र का पर्यावरण और बैलेंस नहीं रहेगा। इस तांडव को रोकें, समुद्री जीवों का सेवन करना बंद करें, समुद्र को खुशहाल और स्वस्थ रहने दें, वरना हम नहीं रहेंगे।
So, thank you, everybody. So, you all saw the earlier video, which was Seaspiracy, that showed a lot about the toxic waste, the plastic, the entire disaster to the ecosystem. And this video shows you the ethical aspect of the cruelty that we are causing. And when it's really not needed, we can easily survive on the many plant foods that's all around. So, after these two videos, I really don't know what do I say. I mean, that's it. So I think my presentation is good enough. I can wait for the question and answer session. Thank you, Ayan. Ayush, thank you.
Yeah. So we'd like to see if we have questions in our chat box. Personally, I would want to know from you, so that after this video, watching this video and having watched the Seaspiracy, it seems absolutely impossible for us as humans to continue with this cruelty. That last part in that video we had, it was killing whales alive. We just saw killing fishes alive, and then boiling them and then eating. And what do you believe? Where does it all come from? Is it the people who are not at all aware of all this, or they choose to be blind? What is your opinion on where is the problem in the human perspective here?
I mean, quite a interesting question, which is a long answer, multiple answers, different for different people. But short and sweet, इसका यही है कि we humans have a devil inside us, where we can choose to be as cruel and just live selfishly, and we have an angel also in us. We can be kind, nice, caring, compassionate, thinking all the aspects. We will never become perfect. Even I'm not perfect. But every time we learn something, we can try and stop it, reduce it. So maybe fishing started earlier for the coastal region people. People were, they didn't have money. Survival was an issue. So maybe that's how it started. But now it's all complete greed. It's just complete greed. I have the money, I have the resources, I'm going to eat the best, I'm going to reach to the furthest. The shark is supposed to be a predator. Mate, I want a shark. It's just nonsense. It's a greed.
So I would like to know one more small thing that people in our audience, I've known people, I myself for a very long time used to believe that जो coastal communities होती है, as you highlighted, they will die. It's necessary for them to fish. That's why we fish. This is the rationale that it is the way it is because there is a reason for it. So what are your views on it? Is it actually necessary to fish?
With time, humans have to evolve and change. It is not necessary to fish. Sure, there are poor people at the coastal side who have no choice, no option because they're uneducated. They themselves are doing that work. Their children are doing that work. But till we start taking steps to educate them, help them learn new jobs, and once the demand reduces, whoever are in the business of supplying this, they will start shifting. So this is anyway going to happen slowly. It will never happen like this. Tomorrow everything stopped. So nobody is going to die of hunger. People have stopped buying fish instantly. So it's going to be a slow process where all of us have to educate each other, become aware, and start picking up. Even human beings are not going to stop eating. We will eat as much only as we are eating. The options change. The ways change. And our population is growing. All our needs are growing. So everything's growing. So, मेरे ख्याल से coastal region में, people are stuck in it. But it has to change. You cannot say, I will not change. You have to change. Times are changing.
Yeah, sure. So, sir, we believe that at YV Care, you do promote veganism as your one foremost agenda. So, how is your experience being a vegan? I know the conference here is the first step. We, as Cheers of the Earth, this is a very humble first step to just educate the masses of what a vegan diet looks like, how user friendly, how animal friendly, how nature friendly it is. Because for everybody, veganism is still here an alien concept. So we would like to have your views on how vegan diet, what vegan diet is all about, and how you practice veganism in your daily life.
So YV Care, please go on the channel. We have some videos about vegan diet is easy. Nice ones. So I am 52 years old. I do heavy gymming. I love to carry heavy weights. So my diet has to be rich, protein, strong for the heavy workout I do. So a vegan diet is a plant-based diet. So on a plant-based diet, you can get all nutrients needed. The only one thing we need to take care of is B12. So supplement B12 once in every 10 days because we need it very little. Very little of B12 is needed, but it's important. So after you become a vegan, after maybe a couple of months, start supplementing B12 once a week, once in 10 days, good enough. A vegan lifestyle makes you feel happy because in my food, I'm no longer harming any other life. A dog is cute, cat is cute, but so is a snake, so is a goat. So all of them are cute. They have a right to live. So I do not want to harm them. So I feel happy. I am reducing violence in my life. I'm becoming an evolved person. I am becoming becoming a human, humanity, इंसानियत की ओर चल रहे हैं. So ये सब अच्छी बातें हैं. So शारीरिक तौर पे कोई तकलीफ नहीं, हेल्थ वाइज कोई तकलीफ नहीं, और खाने के लिए कितना कुछ है. और इंडिया में, in India it is the easiest to be a vegan. Practically any vegetarian hotel you enter, or even a non-veg, he will have dal, he will have sabzi. Just tell him, भाई डेयरी नहीं डालना, घी, बटर, पनीर ये नहीं डालना, और जो खाना है वो good enough.
So, going.
Sorry, my experience has been amazing, and people who understand this. Practically every day we get people who respond back saying, yes, I like this, I'm going to try it, I'm going to change. So people change. There are good people out there who every day are changing. Veganism is the fastest growing movement, the fastest growing. It started very small. So the count is still low, but it will take over. This is the future. We can only be good humans.
Yes, sir. So that's really inspiring. So somebody from our chat, Sarvani, is asking, how can we supplement the omegas found in seafood? Are there any plant-based sources?
Okay. Our body is a very strong and a smart body. Okay. Our body takes in whatever and then it converts it to whatever is needed. For example, if you take plant-based flaxseed, chia seed, you will get a lot of omega-3. Now this is ALA. If your body needs to convert it to DHA, EPA, it converts it himself. That's not an issue at all. So in plant-based, you will get enough omega-3 fatty acids, which keep you healthy and nice. And whatever is needed, your body converts it. Uske alawa, if you really want to take a separate supplement of DHA or ELA or whatever, then you get it in the market, which is from algae. So you get plant-based, every kind of omega-3 fatty acids.
Okay.
But if you do a variety of nuts and seed, good enough. You don't need to do other supplementation.
So, sir, as you have highlighted during the course of some questions that we took, that B12 is a very important component here. So I believe that we have already, in terms of fortification, covered that up in terms of various plant-based sources. We have enriched in terms of B12, even though I believe India mein jo soy ugta hai, that's majorly for fodder still. And that's not fortified, but yet we are coming up with a GMO that has B12. So I would personally want to know how, what was your experience substituting dairy?
So I was a non-vegetarian family, say. I loved my non-veg. I enjoyed it. In fact, I remember my sister saying, "Arey, dusre le ke liye, dusro ke liye bhi chhod." So I loved eating. But the minute I came to it, I always had this conflict in me. Okay, this is not okay. मैं बोलता हूँ I am an animal lover और यहाँ मैं ये जानवर खा रहा हूँ. And somewhere cognitively understood there's really no difference. So one fine day I quit it. So it's something like 17 years now that I've quit non-veg. 5-6 years back, I saw a video which said dairy cruelty, which I was not aware of. The minute I came to know dairy cruelty, I stopped dairy. I said, nah. Cow, cattle are also lovely creatures and I don't want to be a part of this. And the truth is, in terms of dairy, I would have my chocolates, my ice creams, my lassi, chas, but I stopped it all and it doesn't matter. In fact, I don't even use alternatives. I have my black tea. Once in a while, kisi ne soy milk de diya to de diya, but I don't go looking out for those alternatives because dairy is not really a food for humans. It's not our food. We're just adding it here and there everywhere for taste or texture or whatever. So dairy is not a human's food once we have grown up and have got teeth. So dairy is, I don't miss it. And anyway, today there is so much of alternatives available in the market. So many. You have 20 companies which are making mock meat, which are making dairy alternatives, so chas, ice creams, all of it. So whatever you want, it's all present in the market. Sure, some of them are expensive, but with time, I'm sure they will all drop.
Yes, sir. So moving on to the last question, Vanshika from our chat asked that, is sustainable fishing even possible? Is there a way?
So I'm an ethical vegan. So ethical vegan means a person who takes a stand as an ethic. Even if one fish I pick up, that fish feels pain and wants to live. Is ethical exploiting possible? Is sustainable exploiting possible? Sure, it's possible. आई कैन टेक केयर, यानी उतना ही घर पे चोरी करूं कि सोसाइटी बंद न हो जाए, एक ही घर पे करता हूं हफ्ते में एक बार, but it's ethically wrong. So as an ethical person, I don't want to be a part of it. But theoretically, if you talk about it, there is one video. Okay, I will send the link. So you see that, and in that you see what happens is in the fishing. It's a common space out there. Everybody is out there fishing. तो मैंने fish बहुत अच्छा मुझे उतना ज्यादा मिल जाएगा. I cannot say ठीक है मैंने 4 मच्छी पकड़ा आप छोड़ देता हूँ. So everybody is greedy out there for making money. So they don't take care. It's almost like something. Just today morning, my wife told me the kids are all going out to a thrift shop, and there it is. You buy a chicken of 500 rupees, and in 60 seconds, run and grab as much as you can, and whatever you grab is yours. And that's what happens in fishing. Everyone goes out and wants to grab as much. Who will monitor this ethical fishing, this sustainable fishing? कि भैया आप गए हो खाली चार ही लेके आओ. So it's very difficult till humans are greedy. And once human really becomes smart, where he says, okay, I will do it sustainably, he will immediately move towards ethical and say, not needed, what for? Let them live their life. And human beings are actually not a part of the ocean ecosystem, are we? We are not. We are on the land. Is the tiger a part of the ocean ecosystem? No. So you're anyway disrupting them. Leave them alone, no?
So, sir, it was really nice talking to you. We learned a lot. The video, I'm sure you were on the video, and it was a learning experience for all of us. And we'd love to hear more from you. We have a short poll for the audience where we bring up a question which is a commonly misunderstood thing, and we'd like for the audience, all the 27, 26 of us, to respond. It will come up on your Zoom screen just right now. So you have a couple of minutes to fill this poll. It'll close in say 2 to 3 minutes. Please do respond. Come on. We have 11 responses only. I see there are 25 people in this meeting. And the organizers are also free to respond to this poll. Okay, so for all those who've responded, good job. For those, we'll be waiting for your responses. In the meanwhile, I'd like to move ahead and introduce to you our next esteemed panelists of the day. Today we have with us Dr. Vijay Joshi, an academician having experience in teaching, research, and practice in psychometrics. He was extensively involved in designing all India state level admission tests, selection tests, assessment approach for promotions and recruitments to senior levels. He post-retirement, he settled in Pune and turned into a health, diet, and nutrition counselor after reversing his diabetes and hypertension at, I believe, the age of about 68. Now, with his initiative, Yukhatar, he serves as a whole food plant-based nutrition consultant and health coach. Dr. Vijay Joshi, we are glad to have you with us today. Can we please have Dr. Vijay Joshi on the screen? A very good afternoon, sir.
Thank you.
So we'll be ending the poll and we'll have a very nice conversation with the right now. Good afternoon, sir. How are you doing?
Namaste.
Namaste, sir. Sir, we would like to know your inspiring story. I know that you were diagnosed with hypertension and diabetes, and through a plant-based diet, you have managed to completely reverse it. So how is that possible?
Yeah.
I myself, I'm a medical student, and I don't think so that these long-term problems had any fixed-term solution to it.
Right. See, by 2000, I was discovered to have, because I would use the word discovered because my son and my wife were after me that after 50 just get tested at least the blood sugar. And then it turned out to be diabetes and hypertension. And as usual, the diabetologist told me that now treat diabetes and hypertension as your friends and they will only go with you finally. So that was the message for me that it is going to stay with me. And the things continued. By 2009, Dr. Neil Barnard, who has done, whose medical research is already published and established by then. So he had come to India and his interview, I read that, and the title was Diabetes is not a one-way street. So it's not a one-way street. For the first time, I was rather listening to a medical doctor saying that it's not a one-way street. So I read the interview, I visited his website, and then I realized one thing, that I had to give up all animal products. And for me, the only issue was that I was very fond of milk and milk products. After when the diabetes was discovered, I had reduced the quantity, but still I would enjoy that. So after reading all that, I at least decided that I can try by giving up milk and milk products, because otherwise I was not eating non-veg as such. So on my 60th birthday, which was very close by that time, so I gave up milk and milk products. And to the extent that I was every day morning for my breakfast, I used to have milk and roti. So I was not aware next day what I will be eating. But I decided to go ahead with this, and I was amply rewarded, because within few days when I had gone to doctor for my quarterly test, I just told him that I had given up milk and milk products. So he just looked at me and said that, are you sure you will do it? I said, yes. Then he said, I will stop your cholesterol tablet right away. And maybe after 1.5 or 2 months, you check it. If it is required, we'll give it. But shortly, I was feeling hypoglycemic now. And then I had to start reducing the tablet with doctor's help. So that's how I understood that I'm on the right path. Though it was quite challenging because I didn't know the entire formula, the whole food plant-based diet and all that. And I started searching, and then Sharon's Dr. Nandita Shah had scheduled a program in Mumbai in March 2010. So I attended it. I had extensive interaction with her subsequently, and progressively my tablets started getting reduced. And by 2010, the same diabetologist who had told me that these are your friends and they will stay with you. So he told me that now please don't come to me. And whatever changes you have made, continue with that. And that's how this was a great surprise for me. And being a faculty member, having taught several subjects, I thought that how I should be ashamed of me that I even don't know what to eat and how to eat from the health point of view at least. And that's how I started studying the subjects. I did also work as a volunteer with the Sharon. And when I did my first diploma from UK, vegetarian and vegan nutrition consultant, there, and of course with interaction with Nandita Shah, I realized that it's a larger connection. So our health of the animals and health of the plants and the other world is all dependent. So it's all integrated. It's not in isolation. And that's how the connection to environment, pollution, to animal health and all that was progressively clear. And in my exam papers also over there, we were required to answer these questions that, okay, how it affects the environment and like that. So that's what's really very inspiring for me. First a surprise and then very inspiring for me. And I continued this journey.
Thank you, sir. Sir, it's a really, really inspiring story. I personally believe that even though diabetes, we have had significant luck and significant prowess in dealing with it in our medical circles. Hypertension still remains the very devil that is overarching, lurking over our shoulders today. And so I would want to know from you that how do you change the diet? Because I am myself trying to be vegan, and I am myself having this trouble in supplementing the paneer, the ghee, because I believe वो जो घी होता है, that a very small amount of ghee is still a footprint of the animal produced in your diet. And I have been looking for supplements to like change it. How do you supplement the milk products? How do you replace them?
See, actually, once you understand the entire thing, and as my earlier presenter also said, that actually we don't require all these things. So this is what we have got conditioned to this. The society is fully forcing us actually. Even when I left, my mother and my son and everyone, they were after me that you have left it, now you will have health issues and all that. So I said, let me try. There is no harm in trying. And if it doesn't work, I always have a way back to come. At that time, the connection was not clear to me. But as I understood the entire connection, I realized that it is not required. And not only that, if the next generation is to survive, we have to leave that earth as good as possible for them. And we are exactly doing the opposite. My generation, I'm saying, exactly doing the opposite. So we have spoiled the earth so that our next generation cannot survive. Now, as far as your the question is concerned, that okay, for me, my stand is this is not required. So I don't go and look out for substitute. Though I know the substitutes. Occasionally, I make the plant-based milk also. But it is not required. That is the first thing. And now in the last 10 years, now almost 12 years, so many vegan companies have come up and all now substitutes are available. But as a whole food plant-based diet nutrition consultant, I firmly believe that from the health point of view and from other point of view also, that we should not consume these products. Because ultimately, they are again the fat thing. Whatever way you are taking, it's a fat. And fat will have its role already there. So for during the transition, you may require and they are available. But once we understand what is the true nature and what are we eating, because no other animal, in fact, in my videos, I have put my videos on the reversing diabetes, my experience. It is in English, Hindi and Marathi, my mother tongue. So there also I'm giving example of an elephant. So elephant is also initially is fed milk till the time it is able to eat its own food. Once it eats, never in the life it requires that. So this taste is developed by us. So once you start disassociating yourself, you don't require that. Now I had no craving absolutely for the mithais, the Bengali mithais and all that I was very fond of. You keep now tons before me, I won't even feel like eating it. So that is the freedom that one can enjoy, plus health, plus protecting the environment.
Yes, sir. So it's really inspiring to know that this angle of I never thought of it from this angle that जो होता है, it's that we have developed an acquired taste for this.
Yeah.
Sir, as a student myself and as a very inquisitive reader, I would like to know about your initiative, Yuktar. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yukta Ahar, that is the right diet.
Yukta
Ahar.
There's a space in between, so without a space.
Yukta Ahar, right. See, basically, I would just say that what keeps me inspiring, that I will just like to share, I will also come to you. One is there are personal benefits for me. There are social benefits because I can now help many people, right from young girls who have PCOD issues to aged people who have prostate cancer and like that. So that's a great satisfaction for me. The other aspect I find is reducing the global warming. And just for the interest of all my young friends over here, like now last 12 years, I have given up milk and milk products. And if I can work out and good estimate how much I have contributed, I have worked out that almost 3,285 kilograms of what we call as the green gas has been reduced because I have given it the half a liter milk which I used to consume. Then the water saved, so it would come to 314 liters of water per year that has been saved, and the land used. So with all these calculations are available, I have just worked out from that. So by reducing this, I have also saved 4.5 square meters of land per year. So that's how making a green switch gives you so much of satisfaction that at least you are trying from your side, whatever I had spoiled earlier, at least I can't now live 60 more years, but at least whatever years are with me, I can try to reduce it and take the message. So that is one thing. Secondly, as Yuktahar, I actually help people to whatever now my say line as such you can say is modify your lifestyle and regain health. So all these lifestyle diseases are our own creation. So if you take the right lifestyle, which includes your exercise, the diet that, of course, the most important is the diet that you take, the exercise that you do, then the rest that you take. Because mostly young people now I find that they will go to sleep very late. And as a medical student, you are aware that our hormones, the setting up of hormones and everything changes. So all these are the three critical changes where I would suggest things. But besides that, stress and another important factor. And most of us, even knowing it, we basically don't admit that we have stress. He says, no, I'm not stressful. It's fine with me. But we need to learn that through yoga, meditation, or any other suitable things. So these are the key lifestyle factors where if you can. So what I do is I individually customize the lifestyle for the individual after getting all these details. And then keep on searching because it's a transition. So you can't just run quickly the way I made a change in a day or so or a few weeks. Others may not be able to do. So I slowly introduce things to them.
Okay. So we have a couple of questions in the chat. So one question is
cholesterol?
Just wanted to ask you the question. I have heard that cholesterol is vital for so many health functions. How does the body manage in the absence of any cholesterol intake? So, sir, did your video please? Hello. Dr. Vijay? Hello. Can somebody from the backend check if we lost him or is it just on my end?
There is a lag from the side.
Okay. So actually, our body produces our own cholesterol. And all those animals who require cholesterol, they produce their own unique cholesterol. So actually, if you add cholesterol from outside, the body will break it down and use the components to recreate what it requires. So that customization is always there. Whatever food that we eat, it cannot be used by the body directly. So it will put it in the form right from vitamins and everything. So it has its own ways of handling things. So that's how we don't require because our body is producing our own cholesterol. Now by adding extra cholesterol from outside, we are adding actually more work to the liver, which is already overburdened. So it is not required. First thing is it is not required. Your body is producing. So why should you take it unnecessarily?
So we have another question from Sarvani. This one came as in the form of a direct message to me.
Hmm.
Can you throw some light on whole food diet and suggest a starting diet for someone who's just starting out?
Okay. Well, first we understand what do we mean by whole food. So that whole word is important. It means with fiber. So anything without fiber doesn't make a part of the whole. So you should be eating very less processed food as much as possible. Now take for example rice, which is what you can say is as the soul food for Indians and especially the area from where you come from. Now this rice that we eat is polished. It is polished and we actually go for the polished rice. But what is that polished rice? So that outer cover is taken out so that it looks great, right? But it is then deprived of number of good nutrients. So many of the nutrients like chromo, one of the elements, chromo, is that element with chromo?
Chromium.
Chromium. Okay, sorry. Thank you. So that chromium. Now it's also there on that outer cover. There are B vitamins over there. So what we are doing is we are eating now only what is the rice which is equivalent to sugar. Because the fiber is almost removed and that whatever is taken out comes back to you as a rice oil, rice bran oil. What is that rice bran oil? So if you eat that whole food, if you eat that brown rice with the cover on, you automatically get the nutrients with you directly. So whole food basically means that as less processing as possible. Okay. So in that case, you get, because one of the important thing is this fiber, though it is not a nutrient, because that may be another question, but it's not a nutrient as such, but fiber delays the conversion of carbohydrate into sugar. And for everyone, whether you have diabetes or not, the slow conversion is desirable for the body because most of us do not do that kind of a hard work continuously. Most of the work is sedentary. So you don't require that kind of a sugar. You create a problem for insulin. So when we say whole food, now it means that you will be taking the brown rice as much as possible, start shifting to brown rice. But whatever vegetables that you eat, see to it that they are less processed. Essentially, the cover will have to be removed in most of the cases, so you remove that. But whenever there is a less process, it is good one. Now, from that angle again, it means that it talks about oil. Now, oil is an essential part of our Indian food, and people say that without oil, it is not tasty at all. But from where the oil comes from? It comes from the oil seeds or from the dry coconut. Now, why don't you consume that? Because we all know that oil doesn't have fiber at all. It is removed. Not only that, when you go for the refined oil, which is again branded and popularized through advertisements. So when you go for that, it is a chemical process, complete chemical process. So at least if you want to continue with oil, reduce the quantity and go for what is called as a cold pressed oil. And all these things 50 years ago were available. But with so-called modernization and rather commercialization, we have branded everything. So one good way is whatever is being advertised on the TV, don't try to consume it, or at least reduce that consumption. So the usual thing, as you said, the roti or the jawar and bajri and all millets, so that you continue to eat, only you will reduce your oil and if possible, add more of the oil seeds. So sesame powder, add it, no problem. But when you add oil, you take out the fiber, the conversion becomes faster. Plus, you lose many of the important minerals.
Thank you, sir. Sir, a last couple of questions. How and where do you buy whole fiber rice? Is it not easily available in the market? Are all brown rice available in the market? Full fiber rice, are all these available in the market? Is any particular brand tried and tested by you? It's a long question.
See, I basically believe that though I was a professor in business management also, I would say that whatever is being marketed and branded may not be necessarily good. In fact, few years, as I said, few years ago, still now in the market, less processed rice is available. So if you see, it's like demand and supply kind of a thing. So as there will be demand, the supply is available. Now here in Maharashtra, I find that at most of the places it is easily available. The brands have entered into it, but I would say that you have to read the labels. Whenever you are purchasing anything, you have to read the labels and go for it. But otherwise in the open market also now it is available because now there is a demand for brown rice. So it is available. So we need not go for a brand particular as such. We have to ensure that whatever we are eating is full with the cover on.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a really inspiring experience to know from you that, and our audience have enjoyed. Our audience have thoroughly enjoyed and asked all their queries relating to processed food, unprocessed food, vegan.
Just give me a minute to make an appeal to your audience as such. Actually, I would request you that to make that green switch is absolutely important for you and for the next generation that follows. And we have to be a proud child of the Mother Earth. That's what my appeal to you. And thank you all and the organizers for giving me this opportunity to interact with you.
Thank you, sir. It's an honor for me to have you here with us, and it's an honor to host you. And so this was our green activist, Dr. Vijay Joshi, and he gave us all the insights on what diet is and what diet should look like in terms of avoiding milk, getting dairy replaced, even ending dairy rather than getting it substituted, then having less processed food, not looking at advertisements and every smallest of details. It was a really enriching experience for all of us. Moving on, we have the results of our poll, and I would like to have them on the screen. So the question was, plastics in the oceans don't make its way onto our diet, and yes, the answer everybody has is 12 out of 14 people have said is false. So it's very rightly said. The microplastics in the oceans are a genuine hazard, and scientific researchers have found that plastic and associated pollutants have moved up the marine food web and magnified itself. So just like you have to eat more and more fish, at every level of the food chain, you need to eat more and more thing which is below. So the cattle eat more grass and the lion eats more cattle. So it magnifies. It's called biomagnification. Undoubtedly, this has an adverse effect on health. In fact, additives like DDT, PAH are potentially endocrine disruptors, carcinogens, and cause hormone disturbances, birth defects, and developmental disorders. And it was really sad for me to point out as a medical professional that I've been reading some researches, and in Italy it has been found that the human placenta already does contain microplastics to an extent, which is really a warning sign for all of us. So who better to tell us about not to use plastics in his wide campaign across Instagram and his wide initiatives to take people green and vegan is our youngest green activist in the Green Switch conference, Ayan Banerjee. He has been a vegan climate change activist since 2018, dedicated towards bringing awareness towards animal rights and vegan eating. The 18-year-old has traveled to many schools and delivered talks to young students in a phenomenal feat flagged off uh, by a member of the Olympic Committee. The Ayan has run 200 kilometers on foot from Lucknow all the way to Prayagraj, where he stays. The stretch acted as a testimony to the healthy body of a vegan lifestyle, and he wanted to shatter the misconception that vegan diet isn't a balanced one. So we would like to welcome you with all the applause, our youngest green activist today, Ayan. Hi, Ayan. Can we have you on the screen?
Hi everyone. Hi Ayush. Thank you for having me here. It's a really big honor to be able to be a part of this. So thank you so much.
Yeah. So Ayan, tell us your inspiring journey. I've been personally following your Instagram page, and it's really inspired me to the core. That how somebody as active as you has been working with the people, the community, has been doing all of these activities. Tell us more about it.
Sure. So it all started like actually from the childhood only. I was a really keen dog lover. I used to feed a lot of dogs outside my house, and I used to really love animals. And like I was a very like I am still a very calm and like I used to stay away from the crowd and just think on my own and all like that. So what happened was how I was in class 10th when this happened. So I was I was doing something for I was in class 11th so I was planning on doing something for the environment, to plant trees and how to prevent plastics and all of that. So I already started some campaigns in my school, but one day I was at night, I was driving by, and me and my brother, like we went on a night drive, and someone एक dog का accident हो गया था. So I called up PETA India and asked कि like what can I do, but तब तक वो dog उठ के चला गया था and एक NGO का number मेरे को मिल गया. So they are called Raksha. They are in Allahabad only. So I thought कि animals के लिए भी कुछ करते हैं. So then I called that NGO up, and I went to meet their founder president Vanshika Gupta. So she told me about veganism, and I became vegan in a day only. So I told and I used to I studied in a boarding school. So whenever I used to come back, the consumption of my household used to become 2 liters of milk. Just 1 liter used to come for me. I used to drink so much milk. And I belong to a Bengali household, so fish was vegetarian for us. Like once in a while we used to have fish. So like I had to convince I really did not have a lot of knowledge. It was more about my emotions and feelings that I can't hurt anyone and I shouldn't hurt any animals. So that's how it all started.
So that's a really inspiring story. I have been actively following you. I'm a huge fan now since I've come in touch with all the activities that you've been doing. And I've come across that famous 200-kilometer fundraiser run. So how was it? 5 nights, 5 days and nights, day and night on the road, or did you do it how did you manage? It's like when I run 3 kilometers, I get a heartburn, stomach ache, all these pains and every sort of sensation, cramps, everything. How did you manage to get 200 kilometers on your back?
So it was a much bigger game than that, because after finishing my 200 kilometers, I had to go and give my 12th boards. So I had to train during that time, and I also give my boards. Like my event finished on 3rd of February. Then I gave a seminar on 7th of February, and I had to go back to school on 9th, and my boards are starting on 14th.
Wow.
So it was like that. And I got 90%. So and so it was a surprise.
Cherry on the cake.
Yes. So I just wanted to prove that, if you really have passion about something and you really want to do it, Like you can make a balance and you can do anything. It's just you have to believe in yourself and what your mindset is. That's it. So what happened? You won't believe me. Like during the training, the maximum distance I ran was 32 kilometers. The maximum I did in a day, and I had to do 50 kilometers every day. That's the maximum, and I did it only once. But the thing was, in running and like fitness, it's more about consistency. Like, people say that, you have to go and break yourself in the gym and you should be tired, muscles should be soaring. It's not the right thing. It's actually the opposite. Like, I mean, you should do that, but not every day. Like, just maybe once in 3 or 4 days. Like, just doing, if you do like 5 kilometers every day, you can run 21 kilometers easily, like that. You just have to, like, you don't have to give your 100%, just give your 60% every day with consistency. That 60% is going to keep on improving on its own. So that was the game. So what I did was, like, I used to wake up at like, I think 5:30 or something, and I used to start from one point. Then we used to stop for lunch in between, and in the before the sun sets, I had to complete at least 40 to 50 kilometers. So but because I gave a lot of speeches in between, so the plan was to run 50 kilometers every day. But because of the speeches and all, some kilometers got missed. So I had to divide it into 40, 40, 40, and like that. So 15 kilometers was less left at the end of the day. So yeah.
Yeah. So Ayan is our hashtag green activist, the youngest vegan we have in our conference. So what is your experience with vegan diet? I believe you turned vegan in 2019, I guess.
I did on 1st December 2000. Just one. I think it was during my 12th boards. Yes, 2019 1st December. I was actually vegan much before, but because of the lack of knowledge of what to eat, and because I was in a hostel, so what was the problem that they couldn't make special food for me. That it can't be everyone should get the same food and all of that. So, but by the end of my days in school, I made sure that at least 20 people, like even some of the teachers became vegan. So I gave a lot of
Wow.
speeches, and I got people there who talked about veganism. My biology teacher used to give lectures in the dining hall and all of that. So like a lot of people converted. So if it wasn't for COVID-19, my school would have started giving vegan diet for people.
Wow. That's a huge impact. You've been instrumental in bringing about a huge impact. Like school, I don't believe I can bring that kind of impact right now.
Everyone can. And like, I mean, yeah, just yeah.
So I believe that you have been doing these food distribution drives across Allahabad. Is it Allahabad that the earlier Insta posts talk about? So how do you believe does a social work activism contribute to the sense in the sense of veganism that we plan to inculcate in people?
If in my Instagram, like the bio says that Vasudeva Kutumbakam. That means the whole world is a family. So if you just treat everyone and everything with value and as a family, then it somewhere satisfies you also. You will always stay happy. Like no matter how your situation or condition is, you're always going to be happy. You'll be grateful for something, because this kindness and everything, like, this is a chain. You just for example, if I talk to one person and they get convinced that they should go vegan out of kindness, like they will never want to, like they will try to find ways how to be vegan. But if they're if they don't have an emotion attached to that thing, that why are they doing it, like everyone should know their why. So why are you being kind? So that that kindness goes and come backs around you, and because your children are also going to be in this world. So just if you have that thing, then it's just it helps the society as a whole, and you can also be really happy about what you do.
Yeah. So, what's your diet like nowadays?
Me, I am right now. I am doing another event. I am doing Kashmir to Kanyakumari virtually. That's 3,600 kilometers. So I am doing 30 kilometers every day, nearly. So
What do you
I've
mean
been.
virtually?
I mean that I am covering this distance like 3,600 kilometers at home, like in my town only. It's just I'm covering that distance. Like 3,600 kilometers. So, I've been. It's just very simple. For a diet, so it's about evolution also. So, animals have a dichromatic vision. Like they only see two colors, and we have a trichromatic vision. Like we see rainbow colors, and all of different kind of colors. It's there is a reason because it was important for our survival, like the kind of like different kind of fruits that we have to eat. So if you just eat a colorful diet, nothing can stop you from being healthy. Like eat purple, pink, yellow, not pink, sorry, like just purple, yellow, orange, and all of these kind of colors. If you have like at least 2-3 days mein ek bar har type ke colors if you have, you're just going to be fine. Just have
Yeah.
all kind of colors in your diet and you'll be fine. And I eat very simple dal chawal roti sabzi, that's it, and just some dry fruits. Just increase the intake of dal chawal. That's it. That's it for me. And I drink a lot of coconut water, a lot of it. That's it.
So at Green Switch here, we promote coloring our plate, painting our plate with all the colors, and bringing about a diversity in terms of the various components of the diet we have to intake here. And that's been our goal since the last 4 days, to come up with colorful sessions, colorful vegetarian substitutes, or even needs of the hour, as I'd say, because it's a climate crisis nowadays. So I would like to tell my audience here that Ayan is organizing a forest plantation, a mini forest plantation, and he studied at Miyawaki Forest Planting Institute, or the Forest Planting Program as it's called. So, what has been your journey in forest plantation? I believe you've been working with the government as well somehow to
uh,
organize it.
so what? My this relates to my activism journey when I started. So what happened was when I started, I was 15 years old. So
Mhm.
I did not have any kind of guidance to what to do. So what I did was I started emailing all the people जिनको मैं TED Talk पे देखता था. If I saw you giving a TED Talk about plants or anything, I would just email you that, sir, I want to really learn from you, and can we meet or anything like that. So that way, like I first met Mr. Kamal Miatel. So he was an expert in indoor plants, and that was my moment of inspiration because he it was a Saturday and he called me. It was a holiday for him. He was sick that day, but he still called me. I was in my boarding school. So what used to happen, we used to get twice in 1 year we can go out with our friends to any place nearby, like that, with our teachers, like excursions. So but in class 11th you only get one excursion. So I talked to my principal. So he said, we can't let you go during the year. So I said, sir, I want to miss my excursion and go meet him. So I went to Delhi and I met Mr. Miatel. So he told me about indoor plants, and then I, arranged a camp in school, and I got two plants in every class. So two indoor plants in every class, and every child was naming that plant. Like किसी ने नाम गब्बर रख दिया, किसी ने सांबा रख दिया, किसी ने नरूटो रख दिया, शिनचान रख दिया. So that way they were connecting, like they were having fun also, and they were connecting to the nature in, you know, subconsciously. So that was like, you know, अरे plant सूख रहा है भैया क्या करें, like, you know, the little children used to come and ask me क्या करें भैया, धूप में रख दें या आप बताइए क्या कर सकते हैं, ऐसे नहीं मरने दे सकते, शिनचान मर रहा है और हमारी क्लास में आप आके देखिए. So like that. So they were connecting with the plants so well. I'm so sorry. I'll just come back to the Miyawaki method part. So
Yeah,
like
this is a delight.
yeah. So like that only, I emailed Mr. Subhendu Sharma. So he was like he started this Miyawaki method. Like he documented the Miyawaki method. It's by Dr. Akira Miyawaki from Japan, but it was never documented. So this he's an Indian, Mr. Subhendu Sharma. He documented the method. So in this method, you can grow a forest like as like a small forest even in your backyard, like that. Like you can make an ecosystem in your backyard. Like, you know, you need a very small space to make this forest. So this forest grows 10 times faster, is 30 times denser, and is 100% organic. Like he will
Wow.
just make the apt. He's an engineer, so he just made the apt ways कि जैसे मेरे को अभी like, you know, जैसे बॉडी बिल्डर्स खाना खाते हैं, like they eat 5 meals a day or whatever, like, you know,
Yeah.
they need to eat separate time पे कि 2 घंटे के गैप्स पे होना चाहिए, तभी उनका exactly build बनेगा. So what Mr. Sharma did was giving that nutrition exactly when the forest needs. So you just have to maintain this forest for like like 2 years, and उसके बाद वो अपने आप ही grow करने लगे. And this grows really fast, like 10 times faster than an average forest. So it's like, you know, it's the best way to reforest the earth. So I went to Bangalore for 3 days to plant this forest. Like in a resort in Bangalore, he gave this seminar for 3 days, and then we went to see his forest in Bangalore airport. And so I thought like this 200 kilometers shouldn't just be about veganism. We can do something more than that. So then I thought that with the funds I will collect from this run, I will use that to plant this forest. But the problem was in Allahabad, I went to all the, like, you know, DFOs and IS officers and all of that. I asked them if I can find space, but you know, they were just like, it was not, I couldn't just find the place where I could do this. I said, I will do the funding and don't worry about all of that. I just need some space, but you know, they were like, that just couldn't happen. So I'm still finding that space, and like one day that forest will come up, definitely.
Yeah. So Neda from our audience wants to know that if Ayan can brief us about how he manages eating out, going to restaurants or places. I personally am very intrigued how when you turn vegan, is it a restriction in terms of the ways you eat out?
I wouldn't call it like a restriction, because I am choosing to do that, and like, you know, but it is in some way because you know, like most of them put out cream and all of that. So you just need to tell them not to do that, and like that's it. Like I eat pasta, and like I eat really normally, like soups and most of the Chinese things are vegan, like manchao and all of that. So you just need to instruct them that please don't put any butter or milk products or anything, like all kinds of chaat. And mostly in India, it's super. It can't be easier to be vegan. And you know, in Domino's, like every restaurant has some kind of a vegan product. Like Domino's, mein tacos are vegan, chocolava is vegan. So like you just Oreos are vegan. So you can't imagine Oreos are vegan. Like the white
Wow. I
cream,
didn't even know that. I
yeah,
didn't
the
know
white
that.
cream was sugar and like just whatnot, but it's not milk.
Wow. I'll get a lot of Oreos today.
So there are a lot of vegan options. Like you can't even imagine. Like even I didn't know. I didn't know. Most of the Parle ka products are vegan. Most of them. So
Even
I. Mm.
even FSSAI is authorized vegan diets now. They'll be rolling it out through food outlets. So that's a big step, I believe.
Yes, it is. And even Baskin Robbins have launched two vegan flavors specifically. Such Much Am is vegan, Such Much Strawberry is vegan, Cloud Bite ice cream is vegan. All the ice, I love ice cream. So
Mhm.
that was a very big for me. So like I had to find out which ice creams are vegan. So
Yeah.
that way it just you just need to just look at the label, turn the pack, just look at the label. If milk solids are written, honey is written, or like skimmed milk or milk powder, if they are not written, it's vegan, or gelatin. That's it. Like, this is so simple.
Yeah. So, coming up with another question, I get you back to the poll that we conducted today, and I know you have been holding up your whiteboard and talking about a lot about an absolutely no plastic world. So, what's that story of that whiteboard, first of all, and second, how has your plastic campaign been?
Okay, so what I try to okay, so for example, in activism also, so I am a very like that's in my nature, that I can't just stick to doing one thing. Like, for example, I will never be able to fit in a 9 to 5 job. I can't just keep doing one thing at, like, just keep doing it. Like, for example, even veganism, I just can't keep talking about veganism. I'll try to diversify in some way, so that I also get new perspectives and how I can connect it to other aspects of society. Like, so I go to old age homes, I go to orphanages to distribute clothes. I did mass distribution, like, all kinds of so that I also find it in a way that, how I can help in any other way in the society or anything like that. So it keeps me interested in that also. So that plastic campaign is like one in that only. So like, I love basically my whole concept is that whatever you are passionate about, if you are passionate about art, I'm sorry, I'm just pushing it so that you get the reason and understand why I like do it, so that just it gets easier.
Yeah, sure.
So what was I saying? I'm sorry.
Passionate about art.
Yeah. So if you're really passionate about art, and if I wake you up at 12 o'clock in the night and say, let's make a painting or something, you'll get up and, oh yeah, let's make a painting. So if you're passionate about something, and you just connect it to help the society in some way, you will actually have fun in helping, and imagine how the world will change. Like, it will be, you'll smile while helping other people, and it's just fun for you that you're helping other people, and it feels nice also, and you want to keep doing, you just want to keep helping people. So it just helps you out so much. Like, so I am an athlete, I love sports. I am a basketball player, and any type of sports, I just love sports. So what happened, like, I used to cycle a lot. So I thought कि साइकिल के आगे एक बोर्ड लगा देता हूँ, एंड साइकिलिंग कर रहा हूँ तो अवेयरनेस भी फैल जाएगी. तो मेरी भी हेल्प बढ़ी, एंड लाइक हर दिन मैं सुबह साइकिलिंग करता था, सो कोई मैसेज लिख देता हूँ, एंड लाइक पीपल अंडरस्टैंड, एंड द मैसेजेस वर नॉट दैट कॉम्प्लेक्सली, लाइक just find what was your reason to smile today. I would write that also, what are you grateful for today, or something, and just cycle around the community. So that way, especially like in a place like Allahabad, people don't generally find people that just most of the people think I am doing it for money. Like, I used to go to them, like I used to walk in the park also, using this whiteboard. So they used to just like say no, like, they used to think that I am asking for some kind of money or donation, or help my NGO or anything like that. But they
Mhm.
just, without even reading, they used to think that I'm coming to ask for money or something. So I used to just stand, and whoever wants to talk, I used to talk. And it's more about, like, if people started talking about plastic, that will help more. Like, I can go and pick plastic every single day, but it won't make a difference, because the people who are throwing it, until and unless they change their mentality, it will keep on happening. If I don't, in some way, like, you can't change the society. Like, it's all about the mentality. You have to change the mentality to change the society. So I can go and pick plastics every single day, but it won't make a difference, because people will keep throwing. I have to go and talk to people and get them involved that why throwing is bad. And then they will understand. And then if they change their action, it just my works get easier. So that awareness, like I cycled 73 kilometers on Independence Day to get independence from plastic. And like in school also. So I can tell you a story like, I hope we are not running out of time or I'm taking a lot of
Yeah,
time.
this story, I believe, will like give the concluding remarks after this. I'd like to know very small quote from your side as well. So
Uh,
carry on. You complete your story first.
Okay, so like in school also, so what I did, like if you've seen that in like these straws that come आजकल उस पे लिखा रहता है कि you can send them back to for recycling, like जैसे माजा और any other जितने भी straws के साथ drinks आते हैं उन पे लिखा रहता है you can send them back for recycling and all of that. So मैंने cafeteria में 2 boxes लगवा दिए थे कि so we send them back to recycle. So there were like I think more than thousands of straws like that people were putting it in. Like एक में उसका plastic wrapper डाल रहे थे और एक में straw डाल रहे थे. And they were avoiding like so it's just like people like talking is really important and just taking action is more because there are a lot of people who can talk like a lot, but who takes the action and just talks, that's the most important part to change, to bring about change. Thank you.
Yeah, that's really, 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 really inspiring because you've been doing this all along since like I believe 2 years now, and we've had people from all ages today for our audience, and it's been an absolute pleasure for me to host. Coming up would be a feedback link in the chat, and I would request all the audience to fill it out, and you'd have their certificate. Also, I'd like to pass on a message that the video from the first day, which was unfortunately cut short due to a very minor technical glitch, has been uploaded to the YouTube page, the link of which will be shared on the WhatsApp group. The feedback form is inside that description. Feel free to fill it out before the evening session as we close the feedback forms by then. That feedback form will be a key to the certificates for the conference. In the evening today, we will conclude with our fourth and the final session, which will be about sustainable agriculture. We will have esteemed guests from the field of agro, and we will have Dr. Rupa Shah as well, who is a doctor and a dietary counselor. We'll be sure to check out the session in the evening. It'll be starting at about 6, and you'll find me here on your screens talking to another bunch of amazing green activists to take the movement of veganism forward. Thank you so much for joining in. I know it has been a long session. I just took up some bit of your time on a Sunday afternoon, but I believe that this small change and the activism that we carry out here at the Tears of the Earth and the Green Switch, and along with Swadhyay, will go a long way in promoting, educating people on how to take informed decisions of their diet. I would like to put up the thank you slide right now so that you could know that when the next session is. Thank you so much for joining in. It's been an absolute honor to host this event. So be sure to check in at 6 p.m. for the final session of the Green Switch. I would also like to inform you that there will be a quiz based on what we have had our esteemed guests tell you so far, which will be, I guess, we'll schedule it on either the 2nd or the 3rd of October to commemorate with Gandhiji's vision of Swachhata as well, and the cleaner diet in the form of a cleaner, greener, and a healthier diet. As we at Tears of the Earth believe that we are residents and we are on rent in this planet, and we don't have to. It's not. We have a responsibility to our younger generations to give it to them as we found it for us. Thank you so much for joining in. Good afternoon. We can stop recording now.